Alright guys, welcome back. We got a record-breaking war, at least for me personally. The previous record was already set this season with 19 solos in a single war. We're going to up it by one. We're going to go 20 for 20. We're going to start off, I took Magneto House of X on my the second account, took him up to rank 3, and brought him in for the first time ever. So, put the pre-fight on against Kingpin here with the guidance pre-fight. I can parry freely the entire time. This is just ebb and flow knockdown, and when I do knock him down, he's going to be debuff immune for 6 seconds. So just kind of managing that the entire time. We've done these fights a bunch of times. This is path 5, and then we're also going to be on path 9. We are going to take both minis in section 1. We are going to take both the minis on both ends of the middle and right sections, and we are going to have 3 fights in the boss circle before the final boss. We got it all in this one. And we are just going to, we got the Magnetos, we got Kingpin, Doc Ock for a single fight, and Diablo putting in some awesome work on high ground defenders. So here we've got Professor X, also ebb and flow knockdown and heavy hitter. We're going to go in with Diablo, and we are going to use his pre-fight with the distilled will, so that if we do take energy damage, then we're gonna heal back 70% of it. So even though I don't run willpower on this account, just because I just never unlocked it, and I've done everything anyways. Here, besides the fact that I can get some healing from Diablo just from his own kit, if I do take a energy damage, then I'm actually gonna heal back 70%. And so this is going to work really well against Professor X. We've got a Magneto fight and Terrax. All energy based, like all champions with some form of energy damage. And Diablo is a machine. Again, I don't run Liquid Courage Double Edge. I don't have Diablo Awakened. And he works totally fine. He is doing everything and more than I could have asked from Diablo. So if you're wondering about Diablo, does it need to be awakened? Do you need to be running those masteries? In my opinion, you don't. He was working just fine. So he takes care of that Professor X easily. And I know Professor X has been one of the more annoying defenders for me in high ground wars. Here we've got a Quake, and the only thing here is that it's got power alternators, so I have to spam my special ones. Again, Magneto might not be the ideal counter here, but we're going to just try and push Quake to special 2s. I really don't want to have to deal with the special 1 just on the chance that I get clipped by it, even though I'll evade it, but I'll still get her charges a lot of the time, and I think that happens right here. Like, I get the evade, I don't take any damage, but she gets her charges on me, and I don't want to take the aftershocks, so we quickly get her done. Next, go on to path 9. We got Kingpin, Magneto again, and Doc Ock. So Kingpin, we're going to abuse him this war for like 7 of the 20 fights. There we get clipped a little bit by Arcus, but it doesn't matter. We'll come back, and again, we've got the willpower healing on the main account. He's always healing from his own rage stacks. So Kingpin, just a monster. Also, all the fights here are sped up a little bit, some a little more than others if they're really like this one here. I sped it up a little bit because I was taking I was doing too many crits, so I wasn't doing as much damage. I didn't want to throw the special ones necessarily, and I didn't want him to put the degen damage potentially back on me. I couldn't remember if he would throw it back on me or not, but instead, that's fine. We'll just go ahead. I think at one point I decide, even that special 2, he recovers most of it. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to build up to a special 3, get a big chunk of damage with a stun on the end, and I think we can finish this one up. But like I was saying, all the fights I'm boosted up for the most part, and the fights are sped up just so that we can fit in so many fights into a reasonable amount of time. And again, you can learn from all of my mistakes. If I do screw up, not every fight is going to be perfect, and I don't know. And I try to do a lot of fights, so I don't always have the best counter. There's always lots of other counters out there, but I can't always bring every single one of them because I'm trying to do as many fights as I can reasonably. I'm not trying to, just power through it. I want to make sure that they are the proper, that they are reasonable counters that can get me through the fights. So here's another Hazard Shift fight against Cull Obsidian. Really nothing too exciting here. Just bait some special ones and let Kingpin pound into him, no problem. And I think the more fights I soloed in this one, I was kind of eyeing the 20 fights, and it made the boss fight that much more nerve-wracking. Now, here's a mojo that I have done before in the past with Doc Ock on Power Snack. And the goal here is just to parry heavy, don't trigger decks, and get a lot of nice damage. Don't really worry too much about the prompts. Now, I did get unlucky with some of the prompts near the end, and also just the timing just was not great. I go for the special 2, and I think my goal here, instead of getting a nice big detonation on the special 2, I was going to try and reapply it with the special 1, but Mojo throws a special 1, and I lose my opportunity to detonate the triple debuff, which would have been a solid chunk of damage. So I get back into the same rotation again. I get another nice special 2 off, and again I decide, okay, maybe I can reapply those debuffs. Both times I should have just gone with the parry heavy there. I probably would not have been stuck in this position where the longer the fight goes on and the more chances I give Mojo to complete one of the tasks. So I do start taking some degen damage. Luckily, he throws a special 2. I just take it in the block. I do not want to evade it. I push Mojo into the corner to do exactly what the prompt was asking. Stun a champion again. So I'm just getting unlucky with the prompts here. I'm like, this is really unfortunate here. I'm like, okay, one more parry heavy should do it. And I get out of there unscathed. I barely make it through it, but a solo is a solo. It doesn't really matter. I probably should have played it differently, and looking back, I think if I would have parry heavied when I had the triple debuffs up, I would have gotten through that fight so much faster. But next up, we have Diablo against Master Magneto. And again, all I got to do here is I did put on the distilled will. So I'm taking, I can heal back 70% of any energy damage. Magneto only does energy damage. I'm a little bit worried about the high ground. If he gets high ground charges, because Mixed Master, I'm kind of limited between like medium, light, mediums, throwing special 1s, heavy attacks. But you know what? This was probably one of the easier Mixed Master fights I've done all season. I remembered exactly what I wanted to do. Bait that special 1 there. Again, another medium, light, medium into a special 1. Get the heavy off. So I had my rotation going really well. I did have an invulnerability boost up just in case, but when he hit me, I did recover. I didn't even have to worry about the recovering the health there. So really, really nice fight there. Again, we got Footloose Kinetic Transference, Mole Man moving up Path 5 in Section 2. We decide to go with Magneto House of X again with the pre-fight. Perfect for Mole Man. I can parry freely. And again, Mole Man has a long Special 1 and Special 2, which for Footloose just means by the time that he's done his special, the majority of the Footloose, which is the evade and unblockable buffs or unstoppable buffs, are already done. Plus he's got recoil damage, so I just have to play this one smart, push him to special 1 or 2, preferably a special 2. Let him take the recoil damage, and then go do the cycle again. Really straightforward with Magneto House of X here. Really happy with his performance in this war. I don't know how often I'll be able to bring him in, but he worked perfectly for what I needed when I was scouting out the paths and figuring out who could do which fights for me this war. So that one, awesome. Next, we've got a long shot on Stunning Reflection. And I did this one a couple times with Kingpin now because there is a chance that if you just ignore stunning reflection, encroaching stun, my bad. If you ignore the encroaching stun, there's a chance for him to purify it. But here, I didn't want to take that risk. So at a certain point when I realized that I'm not going to get the special off in time, I just kind of throw it. I had an invulnerability boost on just in case Longshot went to a special 3. So here I go ahead, and now I'm just going to go ahead, even with the power reserve. I see I'm getting close to that timer again. I'm going to put in a combo, throw the special 2. And now even though he's close to a special 3, it doesn't really matter. We'll take him down. Next, we move to this Dragon Man on Window of Opportunity stun, One Eye Open. And this one was not my greatest fight. We've done this one before really easily. I've had success baiting his heavy attack against the wall in the past, no problem. Again, he's running recoil. I can go ahead and just bait his specials, attack back in. Magneto has shut down the power gain completely. There I got off a parry, but just don't hit into him because of the One Eye Open. But I believe I get stuck back against the wall here. And he goes for his heavy, and normally I can evade it, but I screw up. He gets the unblockable, gets a couple hits in on me. Now, I've taken too much damage. Now, the problem is I don't have a lot of prowess here. So I throw my special 3, and because it doesn't kill him, he puts an armor break on him, which means now I'm taking some degen damage. So some unavoidable damage there, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead. He's going to throw one more special, and he's gone before we are. So solo's a solo. Doesn't really matter how we get there. So I didn't really want to heal up Magneto for this one. So because Annihilus is #metal, but I'm like, Kingpin. If I can just get a special 1, even though I get clipped right at the beginning, if I can get a special 1 off, the ability accuracy will help me get my parries off when I need to. Wait for the window of opportunity stun timer to disappear. Get a nice intercept in there. Now we're going to bait a special 1. Attack back in. Reapply the degen with the special 1. And again, the window of opportunity stun timer is up, so we're just going to bait another special 1. And Kingpin just shreds this Annihilus. Really happy with this choice. I think it might have even been a little bit harder with Magneto. But that's fine. Kingpin shredding Annihilus. Then we have a Mr. Negative. Class advantage. We know it's going to be Kingpin. It's kinetic transfer. It's feats of indestructible. And I think I even get clipped at one point in this fight as well. But again, I'm getting willpower healing the entire time. I am really not too concerned about this Mr. Negative. A few seconds into the fight there, I'm not gonna dash back on his special 1. I'm just gonna take it on the block. Make sure that he hasn't put me in inverted controls. And again, super fast fight. Kingpin just shreds him. Next, we go back onto path 5. We've got Diablo again with the his pre-fight to get back 70% of any energy damage taken, which does include Terrax's rock field. So I did look at it closely. You could slow it down if you want. When he has the rock field up, if I just were to stand there next to him, I would recover 70% of all the damage that I would be taking. And if I had willpower, again, I don't think that would affect. I would get a little bit more healing back from the armor breaks. So I'm not getting willpower healing from the armor breaks here. I'm actually recovering 70% of the energy damage from his rock field, which is something really cool that I didn't really think about until when I was looking at this path for the war. And I'm like, well, Diablo's got this nice pre-fight. Let's try him out. And you can see here, no problem. Just it's ebb and flow intercept, so I had to throw some intercepts in there throughout the fight. But the poisons do their job, and Diablo comes away with still like over 80% health there. Awesome. Next, we've got this Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ebb and Flow Intercept Mighty Charge. We're going to go in with Magneto House of X again with the Guidance pre-fight, so we can still parry freely on this one. no problem. The goal here is just don't throw specials against Miles. He doesn't go invisible. I am going to try and weave in some intercepts when I think I've got a free chance to, but mainly just, even without it, I'm still doing a good job. Get a nice intercept there, and then we get a huge chunk of damage done. I can knock him down, just can't throw specials. So bait special 1s, bait special 2s, throw some intercepts throughout the fight, and Magneto House of X. Great job here. He was the only champion I had here that could benefit from his own pre-fight. Magneto can't benefit from it, and neither can Diablo. They're both villains, and they're not metal. So it's only metal and hero champions that can benefit from the guidance boost. So there we go. Throw the special 3 at the end to finish off Miles. Next, we've got Doom on this path. We've had this Ebb and Flow Intercept Mighty Charge Doom with Crumbling Armor a bunch of times in the past. We're just going to go in with Magneto. Try and build to a special 3, I think normally we go on this one. I'm pretty sure we built to a special 3. Again, still got to be careful. There's a good chance with Magneto that Doom is not going to get his aura when he throws his special 1, but sometimes he does. Still got to keep tabs on it there. He does get the aura, and you just got to be careful not to throw special. Again, you could throw special with Magneto into him when he has the aura up, and he doesn't resist it, but there's still a chance that he does, so you got to be careful. But again, there he threw a special 1 the last 2 times. No aura, no problem. We had triggered the Ebb and Flow Intercept. Drop a special 3 on him. Now we've got our own Fury. Plus the Ebb and Flow Intercept Fury. So we're hitting pretty hard here for a few seconds. And again, because he's got magnetism, when you do throw the intercept, there's a good chance that you don't get right there. I got an intercept, but did not trigger the Ebb and Flow Intercept Fury because Magneto kind of shuts the entire node down. So pros and cons doing Magneto on these fights, but I prefer them all the time, especially because you see a lot of metal champions on Path 5, and Magneto always is shredding. Get a couple more special 1s off, and Magneto is done. A little bit of a long fight, always against Doom, but he's done. Next, we've got Nova, and instead of his usual place on Path 5, they put him on Recovery, Safeguard, Indomitable, and again, he's hashtag metal. Magneto is going to shut the node down completely. And again, I'm going to build to a special 3 and just bait his special 1s, and you can see I'm going to bypass the damage cap. No problem, but there is a chance when you throw the special 3 that you do not. Sometimes if you build up a bunch of prowess on this particular fight against a metal champion, we've seen it in the past. Sometimes it'll completely work as normal. He'll bypass the damage cap and shred the opponent on the special 3. Sometimes it does nothing, but then you'll still get your armor breaks or bleeds and finish the fight that way. Here against this Nova, we're just going to bait special 1s. And again, didn't get too many prowess. I was kind of waiting to see if he could get to lower power. All right, we're going to charge up. Just 6 prowess. Still going to do some decent damage. But sometimes, so here we do bypass the damage cap on that special 3, which is nice. We got the bleeds doing some work. Nice detonation on the bleeds when they're done. And that heavy attack takes him out. Next, we've got Iron Man Infinity War on Hazard Shift Stun Immune. We're going to bring in Kingpin. We've done this fight before really clean. This one not as clean as the previous time I did it. I do go for some heavy attacks, countering his heavy at the beginning. I do want to get some special 1s cycling. There he backdashed, intercepted me, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. He does have high ground, so if you lose your combo, it's a kind of a pain because you don't want to be taking against Iron Man Infinity War. You do want to take some blocked hits in order to bait his heavy. So I really did not want that. I didn't want to lose my combo here. But there we were able to remove one of the high ground charges with 10 hits on the combo. Nice intercept there. And again, Too much damage I'm taking on the blocks here because of that. But again, we are getting some willpower healing. A little bit of lag there for a second. Again, go with the intercept. Get the ability accuracy reduction down with the degen. I get clipped again, even by a special one. But that's fine. He pushed me into my rage mode. So now I've got unblockable special ones here. So that's fine. I see my charge is still up. I'm going to run in, throw the unblockable special, get the degen on him, and he's going to die before I do. And a solo's a solo. Doesn't matter how we get there. And then the last fight before the boss, we've got the Spry, Limber, Brute Force, Stealth Suit Spider-Man. It's a hashtag metal champion. Magneto can bypass Limber against hashtag metal champions. So I don't even need a pre-fight for this one. I think I had enough for one more pre-fight, and I saved that one for the boss. So Magneto is going to go in here. We're just going to parry heavy, throw a combo in. I think we push him to a special 2. Just got to bait one out. The only problem is on this one, if he doesn't want to throw the special, you end up taking brute force damage, which is why I keep parrying and throwing one hit in there. So now we just need him to throw a special. Thank you very much, because I'm taking the degen from brute force. Brute force, if you don't hit him after a certain amount of seconds, you start to degen. We're just going to build up to a special 3, even though I think a special 2 might have taken him out. We dropped a special 3, and goodbye Stealth Suit Spider-Man. And now we can heal up for an interesting boss fight. Modok. We've done Modok so many times. I was actually thinking about maybe going Kingpin, but decided, you know what? I just want to be able to hit into him freely the entire time. Magneto, there you can see I evade his, I back off and evade his heavy attack. No problem there. And then right here, he throws that heavy attack, and I don't know what the timing was, if I flinched, whatever it is, I take it right to the face. And now I am stressing. So, he is a hashtag metal champion. I can hit into him, no problem. And again, anytime I'm facing Modok, the goal is to just bait special ones, and I get creamed by that special one. So now, all right, fine. I finally get a nice clean evade. That's 2 clean evades on the special one in a row. I actually go for some intercepts here after some of the combos. Hit into him, push him to a special. He is a high ground defender. I do not want to take too many hits on the block. At this point, I'm not going to get a ton of... it's going to be very hard to get to a special 3 here. So I am just going to pound special ones, get some bleed damage going, and see if I can clutch out this fight. Get some intercepts in. Again, just letting the bleeds do their work from the special 1. And how many... there, nice intercept there. How many special ones can we evade without taking too many hits on the block? Another evade there. Again, don't have to worry about the auto block whatsoever. Normally, this would be if I hadn't gotten clipped at the beginning, this would have been a super clean fight. But instead, there are a couple times where I screw up evading his special 1 there. Again, don't have to worry about his heavy. Get another nice intercept in. But then get clipped a second time by a special 1. But I had so many in a row. I was feeling really confident. And then all of a sudden, he's almost down. I'm almost down. And and then I'm down to 1%. We get some adrenaline healing. We got it. I'm throwing that special 1 in. We get back up to 6%. And now it's a race to the finish. My heart was pounding so hard to get through this one. We actually won this one really easily in the end, and we only had 1 death in our entire battle group, and I did not want to make it a second, even though we were going to win anyways, and I really wanted the 20 solos for a personal best. We get that one last evade, and we clutch it out. 20 solos, a personal best for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one.